Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about optical properties of amino acids. Now all amino acid except glycine show optical activity. Okay, all amino acids are optically active. That is, all amino acids are able to rotate the plane of polarized light except glycine. Glycine is not optically active. Okay, glycine is not able to rotate the plane of polarized light. Except glycine, all the other amino acids are able to rotate the plane of polarized light, and that is the reason why they are called optically active. Now these optically active molecules have chiral carbon in them. Now what is chiral? Okay, chiral carbon is a tetrahedral carbon atom to which 4 different constituents are attached. Okay, a tetrahedral carbon atom to which 4 different constituents are attached is known to be chiral. So, optically active molecule have chiral carbons. Now, all amino acids have chiral carbons, and that is the reason why they are optically active. But glycine don't have chiral carbon, and that is the reason why glycine is not optically active. Now this optically active compound can rotate the plane of polarized light into clockwise direction or in counterclockwise direction. Okay, if the rotation is to the right, then that is clockwise. If the rotation is to the left, then that is counterclockwise. And this optically active compounds rotate the plane of polarized light either in clockwise direction or in counterclockwise direction. Now, if optically active compounds rotate the plane of polarized light in a clockwise direction, then those optically active compounds are known as dextrorotatory, and that rotation in clockwise direction is designated by a plus sign. Okay, so dextrorotatory compounds are those optically active compounds that rotate the plane of polarized light in clockwise direction. And there is this levorotatory compounds. Okay, levorotatory compounds are those optically active compounds which are able to rotate the plane of polarized light in counterclockwise direction. And the rotation of this plane of polarized light in counterclockwise direction is represented by a minus sign. So yeah, there are two types: levorotatory. Levorotatory will rotate the plane of polarized light in counterclockwise direction, and dextrorotatory will rotate the plane of polarized light in the clockwise direction. So these are the two amino acid, glycine and alanine, and as you can see, this diagram is representing the chiral and achiral carbon. Now as you can see, this carbon of glycine to this carbon, the definition of chiral carbon is that 4 different constituents should be attached. Now in case of glycine, the 2 constituents are identical, that is, both of them are hydrogen, and that is the reason why this is achiral. But in case of alanine, as you can see, the 4 constituents which is attached to this alpha carbon are different. Okay, all of them are different. This is CH3, this is NH3, this is COO minus, this is H. All of them are different, and that is the reason why this alpha carbon of this alanine is referred to as chiral carbon. So glycine have a chiral carbon because hydrogen, yeah, and alanine has a chiral carbon. Now this optical activity is measured by polarimeter, and the magnitude of optical activity is measured as an optical rotation. Okay, optical rotation is your magnitude of optical activity. Now the quantitative measure of optical activity of a molecule is referred to as optical rotation, and optical rotation is denoted by alpha. So optical rotation is the quantitative measure of the optical activity of a particular molecule. Now this optical rotation of an optically active compound depends upon the concentration of compound, then the light path length, then the wavelength of polarized light, and temperature. Okay, these 4 parameters, that is the concentration of compounds, then the light path length, then the wavelength of polarized light, then temperature, all of this decide the optical rotation of an optically active compound. And because of the fact that the optical rotation depends upon those parameters, the experimentally measured optical rotation is then converted and expressed into specific rotation, which is denoted by this sign, that is alpha t lambda. Okay, so you don't like the optical rotation which is measured experimentally, that is converted into specific rotation, because this thing depends upon various parameters such as temperature and light path length and all that. Okay, so that is the reason why the experimentally measured optical rotation alpha is converted and expressed into specific rotation, which is denoted by alpha t lambda. So the optical rotation of a solution at a specific temperature and at a particular wavelength is given as alpha Td equal to A naught divided by L into C. And this A naught is the observed rotation in degrees. Then this alpha T lambda is the specific rotation of a particular compound at a particular temperature, which is measured in degrees Celsius, and at a particular wavelength of polarized light, which is measured in nanometer. And if the wavelength of light, the wavelength of polarized light which we are using, if it is 589 nanometer, then symbol D is used. Then we don't write alpha T lambda, we write alpha Td. So that is the reason why alpha Td is equal to A naught divided by L into C. We have assumed the value of the wavelength of light, that is 589 nanometer. And then C represents the concentration of the solution, which is expressed in gram per ml, and the L is the light path length, which is expressed as decimeter. So your specific rotation of a compound at 589 nanometer is equal to observed rotation divided by the path length multiplied by the concentration of solution. Okay, so this is how it goes. There is normal light, you pass it through a polarizer, and then you get a plane polarized light. Then this plane polarized light is passed through a sample tube containing a chiral compound. And when this plane polarized light is passed, then there is rotation of this plane polarized light. And why there is rotation of this plane polarized light? Because the tube has chiral compounds in it. So if you place amino acid in this tube, then those amino acids will be able to rotate the plane of polarized light. And if it is happening in clockwise direction, then it is dextrorotatory, and if this rotation is happening in counterclockwise direction, then it is levorotatory. Now let's consider a solution of L-leucine. Okay, it has a concentration of 3.0 gram per 50 ml, and the observed rotation is plus 1.81 degree, and it is placed into a polarimeter tube of length 20 centimeter. And let's calculate the specific rotation of this solution of L-leucine on the basis of these values. So we have this equation, that is alpha Td is equal to A naught divided by L into C. Now here L is given as 20 centimeter. Okay, so that is converted into 2 decimeter. Then the concentration was given 3 gram into 50 ml, that gives us 0.06 gram per ml. So we put this value into this equation and we get the specific rotation of that L-leucine solution as plus 15.1 degree. Okay, so that is how you determine the specific rotation of a particular amino acid solution. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching it.